There are 5 main factors a driver can control that impact fuel economy by as much as 35%. Speed, idling, cruise control, road management, and RPMs, or the sweet spot. When possible, lowering your cruising speed by just 5 miles per hour can result in a fuel savings of up to 10%. Cruise control can increase your average fuel economy on a run by up to 6%. When possible, engage your cruise control at a conservative speed. An idling engine continues to burn fuel, resulting in an instant fuel economy of 0 miles per gallon. You could be burning over a gallon of fuel per hour at idle, as well as the unnecessary wear and tear on your engine. Another important part of driving for fuel economy is managing your route and the road. Anticipating road speed changes to avoid hard braking and fast accelerations are good ways to improve your fuel economy. When possible, select multi-lane routes before 2-lane routes to prevent backups and delays. Finally, as traffic safely allows, use downhill grades to coast and gear to pick up speed before the next uphill climb. Following these few basic tips can make a significant difference in your fuel economy and your bottom line. Now, let's go ahead and start up your truck. Observe the in-cab cutout switch, if so equipped. It must be in the on position before turning the key to the on position. The truck is equipped with several control modules, and they all have to work in conjunction with each other to deliver optimal vehicle and engine performance. Allow the gauges on the dash to sweep and reset approximately 8 seconds before starting the engine. Once air pressure is built up, the vehicle is ready to go. Remember, an idling engine burns fuel and gets 0 miles per gallon. Achieving maximum fuel efficiency is a practice that is ongoing while the vehicle is moving. Driving intelligently will result in better fuel efficiency, improved engine performance, and engine life. How you control your engine's RPM has the greatest effect on fuel economy. It is best to operate the engine in the fuel economy sweet spot, or the heart of the operating RPM speed band. Ease into throttle and use only enough RPMs to get your engine into the next gear. With automated transmissions, the more throttle applied, the higher the engine speed that transmission will upshift. Use torque, not horsepower, to do the work. Transmissions are most efficient in top gear. If you're operating a DT12 transmission, please note that there is a separate DT12 driver training video available. Understanding a few new ideas on how to shift for fuel economy is important. Detroit engines allow drivers to accelerate the vehicle more efficiently by taking advantage of the available torque at low engine speeds. Drivers need to manage their shifts to keep the engine between 1,000 RPM and 1,500 RPM. To drive most efficiently on the low side of the transmission, upshift before 1,400 RPM, and on the high side of the transmission upshift before 1,500 RPM. Taking the engine above 1,500 RPM is a waste of fuel and does not provide any performance benefit. To stay in the fuel economy sweet spot, stay in gear down to 1,000 RPM before downshifting. By keeping these new shifting ideas in mind and staying in gear longer before shifting, the driver keeps the engine in the fuel economy sweet spot longer, producing the best possible results. You may need to make your shifts at a higher engine speed while you're going uphill and, conversely, a lower engine speed when going downhill. But in general, it's recommended to keep RPMs between 1,000 and 1,500 for the best fuel economy results. The turbocharger wakes up immediately after shifting, even below peak torque, and complements progressive shifting techniques. Make the engine pull and work peak torque speeds. Full throttle accelerations waste fuel, but full throttle pulls cresting grades make sense. Shifting techniques, fast or slow, and the steepness of the grade all come into play. If the engine wants to pull a hill above peak torque, let the engine pull. Certainly, if the top of the hill is in sight, pulling below peak torque at least down to 1,000 RPM, even if it slows the vehicle down, will not hurt the engine. The electronics are always monitoring boost levels and determining correct fueling at all engine speeds. Remember, the hill ascended has to be descended, probably utilizing service brakes. So why not start off at a safe speed down from the top? In other words, don't race over the top of the grade if it means slowing down with the brakes before descending. Utilizing downgrade force to accelerate the vehicle just makes good sense, especially if no braking is required. Engine braking can be safely utilized up to 2,200 RPM if required. Anticipating highway exits and traffic stops will also save fuel. For example, if the traffic light has just changed to red, leave the transmission in gear and avoid downshifting. If you're on the highway and your exit is about 3/4 of a mile away, back out of your throttle and carry your way to the exit. So make sure to pay attention and drive according to the current traffic patterns. Along with monitoring traffic situations in each mirror and out front, pay attention to the feedback the engine is giving you. This information is extremely valuable for the maintenance staff to keep the tractor running at peak performance. Check your dash periodically while checking engine-related gauges. Obviously, any check engine light or malfunction indicator light, commonly referred to as the mill lamp, should be noted and identified to maintenance upon returning to the yard. A HEST lamp is only an indication that a regeneration has been in progress, indicating a hot exhaust. At less than 5 miles per hour, the regen sequence is terminated. Visible smoke from the exhaust stack should indicate a service situation. Fan on time should be reasonable for the ambient temperature, grades, and loading. Note the engine temperature gauge may rise to 225 degrees Fahrenheit before the fan engages. Let the engine decide fan on timing. A fan engaged early is a costly 45 to 55 horsepower mistake, probably a gear wasted during a climb. Finally, smart trip planning can go a long way in fuel conservation. Steady momentum is a good thing. When stopping, even for a scale check, it costs fuel. Every stop and acceleration with 70,000 pounds consumes at least 1/4 gallon of fuel. Try to make one stop for relief, fueling, and meals. If you're stopped for more than 5 minutes, shut off the engine. Unless ambient temperature is extremely hot, the engine has cooled sufficiently to shut it off. Remember these few ideas to help improve your fuel economy. To recap, idling equals 0 MPG. Progressive shifting equals better fuel economy. Better running engines equals better fuel economy. Better planning equals better fuel economy. Driving for maximum fuel economy takes practice, but drivers who master these techniques are easier on the vehicle and on the bottom line. Good luck and have a safe and fuel-efficient trip.